This conference will now be recorded.
The agenda for today's class is we'll have complete introduction to Power BI. In the 60-minute session, we'll have complete introduction to Power BI. By end of the 60-minute session today, you'll came to know what is Power BI, what we can do with Power BI, guys. So by end of the 60-minute session, you'll get the clear idea about this Power BI architecture. This we call it as Power BI architecture. By end of this 60-minute session, you'll get the clear idea about this Power BI architecture. Yes, let's start. So before I start explaining what is Power BI, if I ask a question, what do you know about Power BI? So the question is, what do you know about Power BI? What is Power BI? So just tell me, you know, before you are coming here, you might be knowing something about Power BI, right? If I ask, what do you know about Power BI? What do you know about Power BI? Right. Some people will tell that Power BI is a what? Reporting software or reporting tool. Correct. Reporting software or reporting tool. Power BI is a reporting software. Then, so some people will call Power BI is a data visualization software. Data visualization software. So some people will call Power BI as a data analytics software. Power BI is a data analytics software. Analytics software. Correct. Some people will call Power BI as a business intelligence software. Business intelligence. BI software. BI software. Business intelligence software or BI software, guys. Everyone is correct. Power BI have many names. So by end of this session, you'll get the idea why they are calling it as reporting software, why they are calling it as data visualization software. All this you'll get an idea. So for now, we just understand what people will call Power BI. People will call Power BI with many names like this: reporting software, data visualization software, data analytics software, or business intelligence software. Fine. So before we know about this, I'll ask one more question here. The one more question is, so Microsoft is the company who developed the Power BI software. Which is the company developed Power BI software? Microsoft. The question is, okay, Microsoft developed it. Who will use the Power BI software? Who will use Power BI software? Who will use the Power BI software means? So that is the question, guys. And another question is, you join today's class. You join today's class to learn Power BI. Within 2 months or within 60 hours, within 60 hours, you learn Power BI software, guys. Right? Within 60 hours, when you learn Power BI software, you'll become a Power BI developer. Once you learn Power BI, you'll become what? Power BI developer. Or another name for Power BI developer is data analyst. Another name for Power BI developer is data analyst. The question is, who will give the job for data analyst? Who will hire Power BI developer or data analyst? For both the questions, answer is same. Who will use Power BI software or who will hire Power BI developer or data analyst means for both the questions the answer is same. What is the answer is, so when there is any company, take a small company to a top MNC, take a small company, a startup to a top MNC. When there is any company, when there is any company, so when there is a company, what we will do is, when we establish a company, we'll do some business. When there is a company, that company will do some business, guys. When a company is there, that company will do some business. That company might do a e-commerce business, or the company might do a retail business. A company might do a banking business. A company might do healthcare business. A company, when there is a company, they might do any business. Any business they will do. So let's say they're doing a retail business. There is a company, they're doing a retail business. When they're doing the business, retail business, they'll get customers data, they'll get products data, they'll get sales data. So when a company is doing the business, from the business they'll get some business data, guys. When a company is doing the business, out of the business they'll get some business data. Generally, when a company is getting the business data, that business data sometimes will store in the Excel files. That business data sometimes store in the Excel files. That business data sometimes store in the SQL server. That business data sometimes store in the Oracle database or some other place also. Or some other place also. When a company is there, it might store the business data here. The place where generally companies are storing the business data, we call it as data sources. The place where companies are storing the business data, we also call it as OLTPs. We'll understand. Right. So why companies will store their business data means for future reference purpose. So the main reason why they will store the business data is for future reference purpose or analysis purpose. For future reference purpose or for analysis purpose, companies will store the business data. Fine. A company is having the business data. What they will ask you is they want to analyze the business data. They want to analyze the business data. Let's say they have some last 5 years business data. They want to understand how they are running the business in the last 5 years. So that company is running the business from last 5 years. They are storing the business data. So last 5 years business data. They want to analyze how they are running the business when compared to last year, this year, how good they are running the business. They want to do some analysis on their business data. When they want to analyze the business data, how the companies will analyze the business data is by generating some reports and visuals. By generating reports or visuals, companies will analyze the business data, guys. When a company need to analyze the business data, they will generate some reports and visuals. That reports and visuals will help companies to analyze the business data. Let me show some sample reports here. I'll just show you some sample reports here. How the companies will create to analyze the business data. I'll just show you some sample reports and visuals. Reports and visuals. How the companies will create to analyze their business data. Right, let me show you here. I'll just open some sample reports here, or else I'll just go here and I'll just open some reports and visuals how the companies will create to analyze the business data. Here I'm just opening, guys. Look at this. Companies will generate some reports like this to analyze the business data. They will generate some reports like this. They will generate some reports like this to analyze the business data. When you want to generate some reports like this to analyze the business data, we need to generate some report like this to analyze the business data. To generate a report like this to analyze the business data, we need some software, guys. To generate a report like this, how many customers, total customers are there? How many orders the customers was placed? What is the total quantity we received? What is the total sales amount, profit amount? Like this, to analyze the business data, we need to generate this kind of reports. We are telling that we need to generate some reports and visuals to analyze the business data. To generate the reports and visuals, they need a software, guys. That software is Power BI here. That software is what here? Power BI. Any company who have business data, who is planning to analyze their business data, they need to generate reports and visuals. To generate the reports and visuals, they need a software. That software is Power BI, guys. What this company will do is, this company will go to Microsoft, and from Microsoft they will buy the Power BI software. Why they are buying the Power BI software from Microsoft is using Power BI they need to generate what? Reports and visuals. That reports and visuals will help companies to do what? Analyze the business data. They'll just go to Microsoft and they will buy the Power BI software. So do you think that Power BI will automatically generate the reports and visuals? Means Power BI itself cannot generate the reports and visuals. So with Power BI to generate the reports and visuals, what company need? With Power BI software to generate the reports and visuals, what a company need? Company need a Power BI developer, guys. Company need what? Power BI developer. Now tell me, when there is any company, when they want to analyze the business data, they need one software. That software is Power BI, guys. So with Power BI to analyze the business data, they need one developer. The developer is Power BI developer. On the whole, Power BI developer will use Power BI software. Using the Power BI software, Power BI developer will generate reports and visuals. That reports and visuals will help companies to do what, guys? To analyze the business data. Right. So to analyze the business data, we not only have Power BI in the market, guys. If you see, to analyze the business data, we have dozens of softwares in the market. So let's say I want to buy one mobile, guys. When I want to buy a mobile, how many brands of mobiles are there? Dozens of brands of mobiles are there. We have iPhone, OnePlus, lot of phones are there, Samsung, right? Lot of brands are there. In the same way, to analyze the business data also, there are a lot of softwares available. One is Power BI, guys. Tell me what other softwares you have to analyze the business data along with Power BI? Tableau, then ClickView or ClickSense, correct? ClickView or ClickSense, then uh, OBW,
BizTalk,
Cognos, then BO,
MicroStrategy.
MicroStrategy, correct? MicroStrategy, MSBI, MicroStrategy, MSBI. Like this, if I write dozens of softwares are there, dozens, not one or two, dozens of softwares are there. All these softwares are used to do what, guys? To analyze the business data. All the softwares are used to generate reports and visuals. That reports and visuals will help to analyze the business data. Even though in the market, when you have dozens of softwares, out of these dozens of softwares, the most widely used software is Power BI. Nowadays, in the companies, which software they're using to analyze their business data is no doubt Power BI. So there is a company called Gartner, guys, who will give the rankings to the BA tools. The company name is Gartner. Every year, they will give the rankings to the BA tools, reporting tools, or data analytics tools. They'll give the rankings to the business intelligence softwares. So they will release the rankings in the March month, March every year. So the company name is Gartner. So when they release the rankings in the leaders board, in the first place you have Microsoft Power BI. Second place is for what? Tableau. Third place is for Click. When you even compare with Tableau, Power BI is far ahead, guys. Believe me, all the softwares are used to analyze the business data only. This MicroStrategy, Domo, Tipco, all this. Even though there are dozens of softwares here, out of these softwares, the most widely used software is Power BI. There is no doubt in it. So believe me, when there are 100 companies out of 100 companies, they're using Power BI to analyze the business data. Take any company out of 100 companies, take any company. So somewhere, some companies will use in all their projects, some companies will use in any one of their projects, few projects. But every company is using Power BI to analyze their business data, guys. No doubt in it. Fine. So just to show, there are a lot of tools to analyze the business data. Out of all this, Power BI is extensively used or mostly used. Right, guys. Now, okay, we understand who will use Power BI or who will hire Power BI developer. We understand, guys. Tomorrow, let's say there is a company called Amazon, or there is a company called Flipkart, any company. Let's say there is a company called Amazon, or there is a company called Flipkart. They have some data. They have some business data. They have some business data. They're planning to analyze the business data. They're planning to do what? They're planning to analyze the business data. When this company is planning to analyze the business data, they need one software, right? That is what software here? Power BI software. They need one developer, right? Power BI developer. Within 2 months, once you learn Power BI, so they might hire you, or either they might hire me. They might hire one person who knows Power BI. That person is Power BI developer, right? Right now, we clearly understand when there is any company, when they have some business data, when they want to analyze the business data by generating reports or visuals, analyze the business data by creating some reports or visuals, analyze the business data by generating some reports or visuals, they need some software and they need one developer. Now, okay, they hired me, guys. They hired me as a Power BI developer. So I joined for a Flipkart. I want to analyze the Flipkart business data by generating some reports and visuals using Power BI software. Now, first important point is Power BI developer need to implement the business intelligence process to analyze that company's business data, guys. Power BI developer Power BI developer need to implement the business intelligence process, need to implement implement business intelligence process, BI process. They need to implement the business intelligence process to analyze the company's business data, guys. To analyze the business data. Even tomorrow you join in the company as a Power BI developer. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what you need to do is you need to implement the business intelligence process to analyze the business data. Any Power BI developer need to implement the business intelligence process to analyze that company's data. Now, let's try to understand what is this business intelligence process. Why? Because tomorrow, once you learn Power BI, once you join in the company as a Power BI developer, you need to implement it. When you want to implement it, you need to know what is business intelligence process, right? First, let me give the definition of BI process. First, I'll write the definition and then I'll explain, guys. Business intelligence is a process which converts business data which converts business data into actionable information. For now, stick on to the definition. I'll discuss more about this. We're telling that business intelligence is nothing but one process. In that process, what we will do is we'll convert company's business data into an actionable information. Right. Now let's try to understand what this process is. So let me open one architecture slide. What is business intelligence process? This complete process, we call it as business intelligence process, guys. This complete process, we call it as what process? Business intelligence process. This complete process, we call it as business intelligence process. Business intelligence process is starting at where? OLTP systems. It will ends with clients, guys. So Power BI developer need to know what is this process. Power BI developer need to know what is this process, guys. Business intelligence process will contain 5 steps. So what are the 5 steps you will have is first OLTPs it will start with. Second step is ETL process. Third step is creating OLAP database. Fourth step is creating the reports and visuals. Fifth step is sharing them with the clients. So business intelligence process will contain 5 steps. Tomorrow when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, you need to implement these 5 steps, guys. You need to implement this 5 steps. Let's talk more about that 5 steps. As I said that business intelligence process will start at OLTP systems. First, let's talk about what is OLTP. OLTP, the full form for OLTP is online transactional processing. The full form for OLTP is online transactional processing. So what is this? Let me write here. The place where companies are storing the business data, the place where companies stores business data, the place where company stores business data, or another name for business data is transactional data. Transactional data we call as OLTP systems, guys. We call it as OLTP systems. Right? Simple. The place where companies are storing their business data or their day-to-day transactions of the business, we call it as OLTP systems. Look at this. If a company is storing the business data in the SQL server, we call SQL server as OLTP system. If a company is storing the business data in the Oracle we call it as OLTP system. OLTP system is just a name. How my name is Sunil. OLTP is also one name. Online transactional processing. I said that. So I joined in the company as a Power BI developer, Flipkart company. In the Flipkart company, you'll place the order. You'll go to the Flipkart and you'll place an order. That order related details, we call it as business data, guys. That they will store in any database or somewhere. They will store in any database like this, SQL server. So in the Flipkart, when you place an order, that orders related data is nothing but business data or transactional data. That is business data or transactional data. That business data will store in some place. That we call it as OLTP, guys. This we call it as what? OLTP. The place where companies are storing the business data, We call it as OLTP system. Right. So a company might store their business data in either one OLTP system or multiple OLTP systems. Guys, generally, some companies will store all their business data in one OLTP system itself. All their business data in one OLTP system itself. Some companies will store few business data in one OLTP system, few other business data in another OLTP system also. Few other business data in what? Another OLTP system also. Few companies will store all the business data in one OLTP system. Few companies will store in multiple OLTP system. No worries. So for now, just understand a company might store all their business data in one OLTP system or multiple OLTP system. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, they might give either a one OLTP system as source or multiple OLTP systems also. What OLTP systems will contains is business data. What OLTP systems contains? Business data. So once they provide the business data, they will ask you to analyze the business data, guys. What that that Flipkart company will ask you is that Flipkart company will ask you to analyze the data which is there in the OLTP systems, guys. I already said that if you want to analyze the data, what you need to generate? You need to generate some report like this. You need to generate some report like this to analyze the business data. So to generate some report like this, so an important point is OLTP systems are not recommended. I'll write one note here. OLTP databases are not recommended. OLTP databases are not recommended. It is not recommended to generate reports and visuals, guys. OLTP systems are not recommended to perform analysis, or to perform to create reports or analysis. Means how we will generate perform analysis means by creating reports or visuals. Reports are visuals. Simple point, guys. When client provided the OLTP systems, when the client is asking to analyze the data which is there in the OLTP systems, to analyze this data, you need to create reports and visuals. To perform the analysis, you need to create reports and visuals. So we are telling that OLTP databases are not recommended to perform analysis or to create reports and visuals. You are not supposed to create reports or visuals directly on OLTP system. They are not recommended. Why they are not recommended means we'll discuss in 2 minutes. Then what we need to do? Then what Power BI developer need to do is, as OLTP database are not recommended, he need to create a separate database called OLAP database. Power BI developer need to create a separate database called what? OLAP database, OLAP database. What is the full form for OLAP? Online analytical processing. Online analytical processing. Again, it's a just name, guys. It's just one name. Now Power BI developer, what he need to do is, client will provide the OLTP databases. Client will ask you to generate some reports and visuals, guys, to analyze their business data. Tomorrow when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, let's say you join in the Flipkart as a Power BI developer, what Flipkart will provide for the Power BI developer is, Flipkart will provide OLTP systems to the Power BI developer, and Flipkart will ask you to generate what? Reports and visuals to analyze their business data. So we are telling that it is not recommended to generate reports and visuals directly on OLTP. It is, we are telling that Power BI developer need to create a separate database called OLAP database. Now he need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. Into OLAP database, what data he need to move is, he need to move only the data that is required for analysis purpose, guys. So in OLTP database, you might have complete business data, but you no need to move the complete business data to the OLAP. You need to move only the data that is required for what purpose? Analysis purpose. What data you need to show in the reports and visuals? Only that data you need to move it. So OLTP might have a lot of different data. You no need to dump all the data into OLAP. Always into the OLAP. Let's say in OLTP I have 100 tables, but out of 100 tables my client is asking to create reports on only 20 tables. Now into the OLAP, how many tables you'll move? Only 20 tables. Only into the OLAP you need to move the data that is required for analysis purpose, guys. Analysis purpose. As OLAP contains only the data that is required for analysis, we call it as online analytical processing. Right? To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need some software called ETL software, guys. What is the software we need? ETL software. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, to move data from OLTP to OLTP to OLAP databases, we need ETL softwares, guys. ETL softwares. What ETL stands for is extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. So once you create a OLAP database, this OLAP database is best suitable for creating reports and visuals. Guys, I'll discuss why OLTP is not suitable for creating reports and visuals. Why OLAP database is suitable for generating the reports, I'll discuss. Once Power BI developer create a OLAP database, once Power BI developer move the data from OLTP to OLAP with ETL tools, what is the next step is Power BI developer can create what? Reports and visuals on which database now? OLAP. On OLAP, we can create reports or visuals. Reports or visuals. On the OLAP database, we'll generate a report like this. Whatever the report we generated on the OLAP database, that report will contain some actionable information, guys. What this report will contains? Actionable information. So whatever the report we generated, that report will contain some actionable information. So which client want to see? So this actionable information, who want to see? Client want to see. So now finally, once you generate the reports and visuals, last step is what? We need to share reports and visuals with the client. Share reports or visuals with the clients. With clients. This complete process, this 5 steps, starting from OLTP, ETL, OLAP reports, and sharing them with the clients, all this together we call it as business intelligence process, guys. This complete one we call it as what? Business intelligence process. Business intelligence is one process. In this process, we are going to convert company's business data into what? Actionable information. So to convert the company's business data into actionable information, we need to perform ETL, we need to create a OLAP database, and when then we need to generate the reports and visuals. Finally, that actionable information we need to share with the clients, guys. So let's understand more about this process. Let's understand more about this process. So why, when for a Power BI developer, when client provided the OLTP systems, why we are not generating the reports and visuals on OLTP? Why OLTP systems are not recommended? Why Power BI developer need to create a separate database called OLAP database? Why he need to create the reports and visuals on OLAP database is the question here. Right, guys? Let's answer that question. So to discuss the difference between OLTP databases, OLAP databases, it takes more than 1 hour of time. For now, I'll discuss at a high level. In the coming classes, I'll discuss in a more detailed way. For now, just talk about at a high level, what is the difference? There are two types of databases, guys. Just a second. There are two types of databases. One type of database we have is OLTP database. Second type of database we have is OLAP database. There are two types of databases. What is the first type of database we have? OLTP database. What is the second type of database we have is OLAP database. We are telling that OLTP database are not recommended for reporting and OLAP database is recommended for reporting, generating the reports. Why means, for now just understand at a high level. In a detailed way we will talk in the later classes. Generally in the OLTP databases we will store normalized data. In OLTP databases, what type of data we will store is normalized. So what is normalized? Why we will store normalized data in the OLTP databases, I'll discuss in the later part. Now you need to understand just OLTP databases will contain what? Normalized data. So in order to store normalized data, we need more tables, guys. So understand one point for now. In order to store normalized data, we need more tables to store the data. More tables to store the data. If you can understand what is normalized, then you can easily understand why we need more tables. And in the coming classes, I'll explain what is normalized, why we need to store normalized data in the OLTP databases. Right. For now, when in order to store normalized data in the OLTP database, we need more tables. Look at this. Each box is on one table. So, okay, in OLTP databases, to store the data, we'll have more tables. Then what is the problem? On more tables, when you generate a report, when Power BI developer generate a report on more tables, when he share that report with the client, every time when client open the report, it need to take the data from more tables. and it need to join the data in the runtime, and it need to show the data in the report, guys. Understand here, taking the data from many tables, joining the data in the runtime, showing the data in the report will take time. The major problem with OLTP databases when you do the reporting is the report might take 3 minutes of time to show the data, or it might take 2 minutes of time to show the data. Client want to wait 2 to 3 minutes of time to see the data. Why he need to wait to see that much time is, so it need to collect the data from many tables, it need to join the data, and it need to show the data in the report. The major problem with OLTP databases report performance. So there are other problems also we'll discuss. For now, the major problem with OLTP databases performance issues, guys. That is the reason when client provided the OLTP database, we never create the reports directly on OLTP. Then there is a second type of database. We are telling that we need to create a separate database called what? OLAP database. In the OLAP databases, we'll store denormalized data. We'll store what data? Denormalized. What is denormalized? Why we will store denormalized data in the OLAP database? We'll understand. In order to store denormalized data, we don't need many tables. The data will be stored in less number of tables. So if you know what is denormalized, you can understand that why we need only less tables to store denormalized data. So we need just less tables. When you have less tables, when you generate the report on less tables, when you share that report with the client, when the client open this report, he can see the data within 10 seconds of time or 20 seconds of time. How we can see the data within 10 to 20 seconds means now when he open the report, it will collect the data from less tables. It need to join less tables. So the main advantage with OLAP database is performance, guys. Performance. Now we are telling that in OLTP database, data will be there in many tables. But in the OLAP database, we have data in the less tables. So we are telling that in OLTP database, what type of data will have? Normalized. Normalized. So in OLAP database, what type of data will have? Denormalized. Denormalized means less tables. So now, how you will convert this many tables data to the less tables is with the help of a tools called what? ETL tools, guys. ETL tool will extract many tables. Once after extracting many tables, it will combine many tables into less tables. Here, middle work is what? Transform. Combining the many tables to less tables is nothing but transform. That less tables we will load into the OLAP. In any BA projects, ETL will play a key role, guys. In any BA projects, ETL will play a key role. So here, when lot of tables are there in the OLTP systems, we'll bring that with ETL tools. We'll join many tables to less tables. We'll load it. So ETL tools will not only do this transformation. There are a lot of transformations it will do. For now, just one transformation is collecting the many tables, combining the many tables to less tables, loading the less tables into the OLAP. Converting many tables to less tables will comes under where? Transform. Right. Now into the OLAP, we bought the data that is required for analysis purpose. That you have the data in the less tables, and now we will use this. Now in OLAP database also we'll have data in the form of what? Tables only. OLTP database also will have data in the form of tables. In the OLAP also will have data in the form of tables. If the clients want to understand this tables data, we need to present the tables data in the reports format or visuals format. We need to present the tables data in the reports format or visual format. Once your OLAP database is ready, on top of OLAP database, we'll generate these reports. We'll generate these reports, right? Once your reports are ready, that reports will contain actionable information. Who want to see that? Clients. We need to share them with the clients, guys. So at a high level, we understand what is this process. In a detailed way, we'll discuss in the coming classes, guys. This complete process, we call it as business intelligence process. So in any ETL tools, the major work is transforming the data, guys. 99.9% of work, 99.9% of work in the ETL tools is what? Is what? Transforming the data. Extracting the data is nothing. Loading the data is nothing. 99% of work in the ETL tools is transforming the data. Let me explain. Let me give another example about transform. Another example about transform. What is transform means? Converting the data from one format to another format. Converting the data from one format to another format. One format to another format. Another format we call as transform. So let me give an example. Converting the data from one format to another format, we call it as transform. Sometimes when client provided the data in the OLTP systems, the data will be in one format. They will provide data. The data will be in one format, and the client will be expecting to see the data in the reports and visuals in another format. In format, another format. Let me give another one example for this. So, so we join in the company as a Power BI developer. We join where Flipkart. In the Flipkart, we join as a Power BI developer. In the Flipkart, it is storing the customer's data in the SQL Server database. It is storing the customer data in SQL Server database. Customer data is there. When they are storing the customer data, they are storing customer first name in one column, customer middle name in one column, customer last name in one column, customer last name in one column, customer name in how many columns they are storing? Three columns. But in the report, while generating the report, they're asking to show customer name, full name, guys. They're asking to show customer name in what? Full name. Full name. They don't want first name, middle name, last name separately. They want to see customer full name. Now the data in the SQL server, the data in the OLTP system is in one format. But client is asking to show the same data in the reports and visuals, another format. Now what you need to do is, you need to bring the data, customers data from SQL server to ETL tools. In the ETL tools, you need to transform the data. You need to combine first name, middle name, last name to what? Full name. Converting first name, middle name, last name to full name, we call it as what? Transforming. Transforming. The transformed data we need to load into OLAP. The data we need to show in the reports. Keep in mind, lot of cases when client provided the data in the OLTP systems, it will be in one format. And client will be expecting to show the same data in another format here. Same customer name. Here customer name is there in three columns, but here it is asking to show in what? One column. One column. So the data in the source system will be in one format and client will be expecting to see another format. Which tools will help us to transform the data is ETL tools. ETL tools. Right? Converting the data from one format to the another format, we call it as what? Transform, guys. Right. We understand this complete BA process now. So we are telling that when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, we join in the company Flipkart. Flipkart has some business data. We need to analyze the business data for Flipkart by generating some reports and visuals. So they hired a Power BI developer. Now Power BI developer, I said that Power BI developer need to implement the business intelligence process, guys. Need to implement what process? Business intelligence process. So when he want to implement the business intelligence process, he need one software, guys. So Power BI developer to implement this process, what he need? He need one software. Power BI developer to implement the BA process, what he need is, he need a software. That software is what here? Power BI. That software is what? Power BI. Power BI developer using the Power BI software, he will implement the business intelligence process. That business intelligence process will help what? Analyze the business data. Now let's talk about Power BI now. Whose product is Power BI? Microsoft Power BI. What is the reason Microsoft developed Power BI? To analyze the business data with less cost. Okay. To analyze the business data, to analyze the business data, they Microsoft developed Power BI. To analyze the business data with less cost, they developed Power BI. So to analyze the business data, I said that we need to implement what? Business intelligence process. We need to implement business intelligence BA process. We need to implement BA process, guys. Yes, correct. To analyze the business data, we need to implement. So what a BA process contains means, we already know that BA process contains how many steps in it? 5 steps. We need to implement these 5 steps. Now, how to implement with Power BI these 5 steps I'll discuss now. So here, first point you need to know is Power BI is not the name of single software. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. You have MS Office. MS Office is not the name of single software. MS Office is the name for collection of softwares. What are the different softwares? Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, all these softwares together we call it as what? MS Office. In the same way, Power BI is also not the name of a single software. It is the name for what? Collection of softwares. What are the different softwares you have? First software is what? Power BI Desktop. Second software is Power BI Service, correct? Second software is Power BI Service. What is the third software? Power BI Report Server. And what is the fourth software we have is Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. These are the four major softwares you have in what? Power BI. There are some other minor softwares also. Data Gateway, other softwares are there. We'll discuss. For now, these are the four major softwares we have in Power BI. Out of these four softwares, the most important software is Power BI Desktop, guys. The most important software out of these four softwares is Power BI Desktop. So Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. Development, development software in Power BI. So it's a development related software. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, 80 to 90% of time, Power BI developer will work in Power BI Desktop software, guys. So I learned Power BI. I join in one company. So where Power BI developer will work most of the time is 80 to 90% of time he will work in where? Power BI Desktop. It is the what software? Development software in Power BI, guys. Okay. One important point you need to know is this is Power BI software. Internally in the Power BI software, we have some more softwares. This is Power BI Desktop. Internally in Power BI Desktop, you have three more softwares. One is Power Query, second one is Power Pivot, third one is Power BI. Power BI Desktop internally contains how many softwares again? Three softwares. Let's write them. Internally in Power BI Desktop, we have three more softwares. One is Power Query, second one is Power Pivot, and third one is Power View. Third one is Power View. Okay, fine. So these are the different softwares you have in Power BI. Tell me, using the softwares, what we need to implement is we need to implement this BA process. We need to implement this BA process. And once you implement this BA process, that BA process will help you to do what? To analyze the business data. To analyze the business data. Tell me, in the BA process, who will provide this OLTP systems? When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, who will provide this OLTP systems? Companies will provide you. Clients will provide you. You don't need to bother about this OLTP systems. This OLTP systems will be provided by the companies or clients. Companies or clients. Okay. Once they provide the OLTP systems, what they will ask you to generate? Reports or visuals. So is it recommended to generate the reports or visuals on OLTP means? No. Then what you need to create is OLAP. Power BI developer, when client provided the OLTP databases, he need to create a database called OLAP, where he will create a OLAP databases in Power Pivot case. Understand here? Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database where we will create an OLAP model, OLAP database or OLAP model, right? So it's a database case. How SQL Server is one database, how Oracle is one database, our Power Pivot is also what? Database. So how SQL Server will store the data in the form of tables, how Oracle will store the data in the form of tables, even our Power Pivot will also store the data in the form of what? Tables. So this Power Pivot is the place where we'll create what type of database? OLAP database. That OLAP database will contain what type of data? Data that is required for analysis purpose. Right. Okay. When client provided the OLTP database, we understand that we need to create a OLAP database in Power Pivot database. Now you need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, right? To move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database, what tools you need? ETL tools. What is the ETL tool in Power BI is Power Query, guys. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power BI. Understand here. It's an ETL software. So this Power Query have the capability to connect to any data source. OL, any data source like Excel, SQL Server, Oracle. Once after connecting, Power Query will extract the data. In Power Query, you'll have the options to transform the data. I given an example, right? In SQL Server, customer name is storing in how many columns? Three columns. So how to convert the three columns to one column is Power Query will have options. Power Query will have options to transform the data. Once the transformed data will load into where? PowerPoint. Once the transformer data will load into PowerPoint. Once you load the data into PowerPoint, you'll create a OLAP database here. Once your OLAP database is ready, this OLAP database contains data again in the form of tables. If the clients want to see this tables data, if clients want to understand the tables data, you need to present the tables data in which format? Visual format. So to present the tables data in the visual format, which software will help us? Power View. So the next step is you are done with ETL in the Power Query. You are done with creating the OLAP database in the PowerPoint. So next step is what? Creating reports and visuals. Where will create the reports and visuals, guys? Power View. Power View is used to create reports and visuals. Create reports and visuals. The reports and visuals which we created will contain what type of information? Actionable information. Finally, who want to see that actionable information? Clients. So now we understand in Power Query we'll do ETL. In PowerPoint we'll create a OLAP database. In the Power View we'll create reports and visuals. Finally, that reports and visuals we need to share with whom, guys? So to share that with the clients, unfortunately, Power BI Desktop cannot share that reports and visuals with the clients. So Power BI Desktop doesn't have the capability to share the reports with the clients. So sharing will comes under admin activity. Yes. Understand here. This is source. Clients will provide you. These three activities will comes under development. Sharing the reports with the clients will comes under what? Admin. Admin. I said that Power BI Desktop can do what activities? Development activities only. So Power BI Desktop, unfortunately, it cannot share that reports directly to the clients. To share the reports with the clients, Microsoft is providing what? Power BI service. Power BI service or another software called what? Power BI report server. Once you develop the visuals in the Power BI Desktop, either you need to publish that visuals to Power BI service or either you need to publish that visuals to Power BI report server. From there, you need to share with whom, guys? From there, you need to share with the clients. So here, to share the reports and visuals with the client, we'll use either Power BI service software or Power BI report server software. The question here is, to do the ETL, I have only one software called Power Query. To create a OLAP database, we have only one software called PowerPoint. To create the reports and visuals, we have only one software called Power View. We have only one software called Power View. But to share the reports and visuals with the client, why we have two softwares? Why we have two softwares, Power BI Service and Power BI Report Server? Why not only one? So understand one important point here. No company will use both the softwares. No company will use both the softwares. When you develop the report in the Power BI desktops, when you develop the reports and visuals in the Power BI desktop, either a company will publish it to either Power BI service, they will share with the client, or they will publish it to Power BI report server, they will share with the clients. 99% of the companies, they will use Power BI service for sharing the reports. Only 1% of the companies, they'll use Power BI report server to share the reports. What is the difference is, one is cloud-based server, second one is on-premise server. Microsoft is providing two ways to share the reports. One is through cloud, one is through what? Cloud. Second one is through what? On premise. On premise. So what is cloud? What is on premise? You'll understand. For now, understand Power BI service is a Azure cloud based server, Azure cloud based server, which is used for which is used for sharing the reports with the clients, sharing the reports and visuals with the clients. Power BI report server is an on-premise server which is used for sharing the reports with the client. But so I said that 99% of the companies or 99% of the clients they're using what? Power BI service. Only 1% of the clients they're using Power BI report server to share the reports. You'll understand what is cloud, what is on-premise, and you'll even understand why a lot of people are choosing cloud. Right? Once you share the reports with the clients, so once you share the reports with the clients, clients can see that reports. Now look at here. I share the reports with my clients. Clients can see that reports in their laptops. Client can see that reports in the whatever the reports we shared here. This reports, guys. This reports, clients can see them in the laptops. This reports, clients can see them in the desktops. That reports, clients can even see them in the mobile phones also. Where they can see? Mobiles. When you want to see the reports on the mobile phones, we need a mobile app, guys. Power BI mobile. What is the Power BI mobile is here? It's a mobile application. It's a mobile app which is used for viewing reports or visuals in the mobiles, guys. Reports or visuals in mobiles or tabs or iPads, etc. So iPads. We have mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for Android. We have mobile app for Windows, guys. Which mobile client is using? Based on that, he can install the app, and that app is used for viewing reports and visuals in the mobiles, guys. This is all about Power BI. So these are the different softwares you have in Power BI. Now tell me, with the help of all these softwares, is it possible to perform this complete BA activities? Yes. Who will provide the OLTP systems? Clients. Where we will do the ETL? Power Query. Where we'll create a OLAP database? Power Query. Where we'll create reports and visuals? Power BI. How can we share them with the clients? Either Power BI service or report server. Mostly what? Power BI service. How the clients can consume them? In their laptops or desktops or mobile phones. Anywhere they can consume it. With the help of any software, if you are able to do all this work, we call it as business intelligence software, guys. We call it as what? Business intelligence software. Power BI can do this complete BA activities. That is the reason people will call it as business intelligence software. People will call Power BI as what software? Reporting software. Why they call it as reporting software is we will generate this kind of reports. We are generating what? This kind of reports. As we are generating this kind of reports with Power BI, we call it as reporting software. Some people will call Power BI as what? Data visualization software. So why they are calling it as data visualization software is we can generate this kind of visuals. You are generating donut chart, line charts, bar charts, map visual. As you are generating the visuals, they are calling it as data visualization software. Why people are calling it as data analytics software is clients will provide some data in the data sources like databases, excels, and that excel's data and database data using Power BI, we are generating this report using Power BI. So this data, you are generating the reports by taking the data from Excel or SQL Server. We are taking the data, we are performing some analysis here. We are performing how much total profits we are getting. Some kind of analysis we are performing. That is the reason we call it as what software? Data analytics software. Power BI, using Power BI we can implement the business intelligence process. That is the reason people are calling it as what? Business intelligence software. This is all about Power BI, guys. Today we understand what is Power BI, who will use Power BI, and who will hire Power BI developer, and what is this Power BI architecture. All this in a detailed way we discussed. Next coming two more classes are free, guys. So so before we go with the questions, coming two more classes are free. So today I completely discussed theoretically what we will do in Power BI, guys. But in the next class, we'll start a new batch, timing, new batch start date and timings is new batch will start on 1st of June. 1st of June, guys, Wednesday. 1st June at 7 to batch timings is 7 to 8 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time. So what we will discuss is, so you can join first. Two more classes are free. Continuation to today's classes, Wednesday, 1st June 2022 at morning 7 a.m. In the two more classes, what I'll discuss is, first I'll discuss how to install the Power BI desktop software. Tomorrow, when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, where we will start our work is, we'll start our work in where? Power BI desktop. Who will give these data sources or OLTP systems? Clients will provide you. So we no need to bother about it. Power BI developer will start their work in where? Power BI desktop. First, I'll show you how to install this Power BI desktop software in the next class. Once you install Power BI desktop software, then I'll show you how to do the ETL activities in the Power Query. Using Power Query, how to connect to the data sources, how to extract the data, how to transform the data in the Power Query, how to load the transformed data into PowerPoint I'll discuss. And once after loading the data into PowerPoint, I'll discuss how to create a OLAP database in the PowerPoint. Once we create the OLAP database in PowerPoint, how we can show the tables data in the reports and visuals format using Power View, I'll discuss. And once after creating the reports and visuals, how to publish them to the Power BI service, how to share them with the clients, we'll discuss. So next 2 classes, it will not cost you anything. They are free classes, but you will understand what you will do in Power BI practically. Just join the 2 more classes. You'll came to know what I will be discussing, what this Power BI practically will came to know, right? Now I'll drop one mail with you once after this class, guys. Once after this class, you'll get one mail. That mail will include 4 things. First thing the mail will include is recorded session. Second thing the mail will include is this notepad. Whatever I written in the last 1 hour, you'll get this notepad, guys. I'll attach this notepad in the mail. And third thing you'll get is Word document. You'll get it. Word document. Every class, all these are Power BI related materials, guys. Every class, today we have introduction to Power BI. So every class will share one Word document like this, which contains complete explanation about today's class. In this Word document, you can find all about today's class, guys. Whatever I discussed in a detailed way, just read this. You'll understand more about Power BI. So once after the Word document, the fourth thing you'll get in the mail is course content, guys. Course content. I'll attach the course content. I'll cover the Power BI course for 60 hours of time. In the 60 hours of time, what is the duration of this course? 60 hours. In the 60 hours of time, 60 hours of time, what what are the topics I'm going to cover in a detailed way? I listed in this course content. So go and refer the course content once. And whatever the topics I listed in this course content, believe me, each and every topic with real-time examples I'll explain. Each and every topic with real-time examples, we'll discuss it. Right, 60 hours it will take. Now, so I'm telling that I'll cover 60 hours. In the 60 hours, what topics? I cannot go and explain each topic wise what I will do. So let me explain it on high level what I will cover in the 60 hours of time. So first 15 hours of time, we'll discuss how to do the ETL activities in Power Query. 15 hours of time, we'll discuss what, guys? How to do the ETL in the Power Query. So next 15 hours of time, we'll discuss how to create a OLAP database. So while creating the OLAP database, we'll discuss data warehousing concepts. What is normalized, what is denormalized, what is dimension table, what is fact table, what is star schema, snowflake schema, cardinalities. All the data warehousing concepts will be discussed here. And in Power Pivot, while creating a OLAP database, we'll get DAX also, guys. You might hear about DAX language. DAX language. So here, where you will get the DAX is Power Pivot. In the Power Pivot, you'll have 2 parts. One is data modeling part, and second one you will have is DAX part, enhancing the data model with DAX. You will understand it. So DAX language will discuss around 12 hours of time, guys. 12 hours of time from basics to advanced. What is DAX? Why we use DAX? All that we will discuss. For now, at a high level, we are telling that Power Pivot will be discussed for 15 hours of time. In the 15 hours of time, what we will discuss is in the 15 hours of time, so we'll discuss data warehousing concepts and DAX concepts. Both are important to build the OLAP database. Data warehousing concepts are required to build the OLAP database. DAX concepts are required. So 15 hours of time we'll discuss. And then once your OLAP is ready, we need to present the data which is there in the OLAP in the reports and visual format. We'll discuss Power View for 15 hours of time. And finally, we'll discuss Power BI service for 15 hours of time. Admin activities. So clearly, how to move our reports to Power BI service, how to share our reports with the clients. So there are other admin activities like schedule refresh the data set, installing the gateways, lot of admin related concepts we'll discuss for 15 hours of time. Totally, we'll cover 60 hours of time in Power BI. Explain it on high level where we will spend it. And this course is not only just explaining the Power BI concepts. So what additionally you'll get from this course is these are the different topics which we additionally cover from the course, guys. What are the add-ons is? We'll discuss real-time project, guys. In this course, we'll discuss real-time project. Believe me, however I explain project in my class, even when you join in the company, you'll do the project in the same way. There, you will not find any difference. What way I will explain the project in the classes, even when you join in the company, the way you execute the project is completely same. And I'll discuss Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what are the roles and responsibilities we'll discuss. One thing here, guys. So when there are 100 jobs on Power BI, out of 100 jobs, nowadays 80 jobs are for experienced only. On Power BI, let's say you have 100 jobs. Out of 100 jobs, 80 jobs you have for what people? Experience. You need to keep 3 to 5 years of experience to get it. 3 to 5 years of experience. Remaining jobs you'll have for what? 20 jobs for what? Freshers. In the older days, we don't have freshers. Power BI freshers jobs. Nowadays, lot of companies they're asking freshers, guys. Believe me. Nowadays, lot of companies are asking freshers. Right. So most of the jobs are for experience, right? When you want to keep experience, you need to know how to keep prepare your resume. We'll help you with 3 to 5 years of experience. How we'll prepare the resume? What are the developer roles and responsibilities we'll have? Tomorrow, when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what roles and responsibilities you'll have? We'll clearly discuss it. So we'll provide some interview questions. When you keep some 3 to 5 years of experience, what kind of interview questions they'll ask? They'll provide. So before you go for actual interviews, we'll conduct mock interviews, guys. So with my 60 hours of training, believe me, you can keep 3 to 5 years of experience comfortably. That much knowledge you can gain from this course, guys. This is all about Power BI. I'm done with my class. Now, so before we go with the questions, some two common questions you'll get is from the people, two common questions I'll get is, so to learn Power BI, is there any prerequisite? First common question we'll get is what? To learn Power BI, is there any prerequisite? Power BI, is there any prerequisite? Prerequisites means no. To learn Power BI, is there any prerequisite means? The meaning is, so to learn Power BI, do you need to have already prior IT knowledge? Prior IT knowledge means strictly, I'll say no, guys. Even when you don't have any computer knowledge, you are from non-IT background. From now, you don't have any computer knowledge. You are good to learn Power BI. To learn Power BI, you no need to have any knowledge. People will have some people, not all the people, some people will have a doubt to learn Power BI. Already they need to know Excel. Strictly I'll say no. To learn Power BI, already they need to know SQL. Strictly no. But one thing I'll tell you, to learn Power BI, you no need SQL. But to get the job on Power BI, along with Power BI, SQL is mandatory. Try to understand my statement here. In order to learn Power BI, SQL is not required. In order to get the job on Power BI, SQL is required. Understanding the difference? Why means nowhere in the Power BI development we don't use SQL. To do the ETL activities, we don't use SQL. To create a OLAP database, we don't use SQL. To create the reports or visuals, we don't use SQL. To publish them to Power BI service, we don't use SQL. To share them, we don't use SQL. That is the reason to learn Power BI, you don't need SQL. But why you need SQL to get the job is, believe me, when you go for an interview, 90% of 80 to 90% of questions they'll ask in Power BI. Remaining 10 to 20% of questions they'll ask from where? SQL. SQL. So not only for Power BI, guys, any data analytics tool like Tableau, MicroStrategy, OBIEE, or any tool like any reporting or UI, Java, .NET, whatever the software it is, SQL concepts are mandatory, guys. If you want to go into software field, almost every software, whatever the software you work with, either Java, .NET, or whatever Tableau, whatever software it is, SQL concepts are mandatory. Why SQL are mandatory is, for Power BI developer, why SQL is mandatory is, mostly when you join in the company, companies will provide the data for Power BI developer in databases, guys. Understand here? You join in company, ABC company. ABC company, mostly they will provide the data in databases, guys. Databases. So when they provide the data, first thing Power BI developer need to understand is, in the database what tables are there, in the tables what columns are there, under that columns what data is there. You need to understand this. Understand here simple point. First, when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, companies will provide what to you? OLTPs. Mostly the OLTPs will be databases. So database will contain tables, tables will contain columns, columns under columns will have data. If you want to understand what is there here, we need to write some queries, guys. So to understand the tables, to understand the columns, to understand the data, we need to write queries. To write the queries, which language we need is SQL language. A database can understand only one language, that is what? SQL language. You need to write the queries in SQL language. So first work for the Power BI developer is he need to understand the source data. So in Power BI development, we don't use SQL. But for a data understanding purpose, we need SQL, guys. Or for data validation purpose, you'll take the data from SQL server, you'll show the data in the report. Before you share the data to the client, you need to do some validations. You need to do what? Validations. To validate the data, we need SQL. You'll came to know in the coming classes. For now, to learn Power BI, what are the skill required along with Power BI? To learn Power BI, no prerequisite. The answer is to learn Power BI, no prerequisites. Strictly no. Without any prior IT knowledge, you can. But if you want to give the interview on Power BI, along with Power BI, you need to learn basic SQL part. Basic SQL part. Right. Anyway, data warehousing concepts I will discuss in Power Pivot software. Another thing, along with Power BI, along with SQL, we need what concepts? Data warehousing concepts. Data warehousing concepts, guys. So where we will discuss data warehousing concepts is in where? PowerPoint. Extensively, I'll discuss it. So all data warehousing concepts will be covered here. So that means we'll cover Power BI, data warehousing concepts, and some basic SQL part also I'll cover in Power BI course, but not complete SQL concepts. Basic SQL concepts I'll cover. Right. This is all about Power BI, guys. And one question they'll get is this. So second question is this. And third question is, they will tell people will ask that I completed my graduation in 2010. I'm working in non-IT. Can I switch my profile to IT? 100%, guys. Even you completed your graduation in 2010, you can switch your profile into IT. What we will do is, so even though when you are done with your graduation in 2010, we'll just tell that from last 4 years we are working on Power BI. Last 4 years we are working on which software? Power BI. All the previous years we worked on any other job. We'll keep any other job. So other jobs like non-IT jobs, either customer support or any non-IT lecturer, any non-IT job we'll keep. And last 4 years we'll keep. We are working on Power BI. Even though you complete your graduation in 2010, so you can switch your profile into IT. If you complete your graduation in 2015 or 2016 or 2017, we'll keep some 2 years gap and we'll keep some 3 to 4 years Power BI experience. We can easily get in, right? So this is what all about Power BI. So I'm done with my demo. We'll go with some questions now.